Alrighty, let's get going. All right. I need to save this. 3679, 3680. All right, let's come up with a couple of ideas here. I thought maybe I'm gonna brainstorm ideas, I think, first. Just do some word dumps, see how that goes. I had camp scene. So let's see what I've already done. Oh, big stretch, half stretch? Not quite a stretch. So the outlier clearly is volume 3 with kind of the greeny yellow. I'm thinking maybe a campfire scene or an autumn scene, yellow gold colors, maybe a different purple green. I'm trying to keep all of the volumes a little visually different. Now for I did do a beach scene for volume 5 of Sketch Cute. Let's see, camping. In general. I like the idea of a cooking scene. That could be really interesting. I mean, I tried doing a character soup illustration once, kind of like Drew Struzan, but what else could be good? Well, let's start off with a couple of thumbnails. Some thumbnail ideas. And for that, I'm gonna just do some in the middle. So cooking scene, campfire scene, beach scene, I've already done that for volume 5, but it could always be a different beach. It doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be that scene. Hey Embry, welcome to the stream. Yeah, she's quite comfy. Her heating pad is on. Not on high, it's on low. She only gets it on low. And she just got, what she's doing right now is, well, she's looking at me very sleepy. Water. I cleaned her and refilled her water dish, which is right here, right by where her head is, this morning. And she's turning around. All right. But yeah, usually it involves her turning around, her getting some water, and toasting, you know, the sides equally. She must always evenly toast. So what I'm working on today is I am trying to do some thumbnail concepts for volume 7 of Book of Cute, which I'm going to release this summer. And so I was doing a mental exercise here. I made a list of the themes I've already done and the rough color scheme. This is yellow greenish brown. Town scene, purple blue, seafoam autumn, hillside, green pink, garden theme, hillside, town. I've done meadow picnic, forest walk. These two are very similar. If I were to do anything in the future, I think I would, maybe I'd just do a sunset version of this same line art, just recolor it, because on the shelf, those two, and I did this on purpose, I wanted to use the same color scheme, but then I thought about it and I'm like, yeah, that's not a good idea because they look very similar. And so I might change that to be maybe an autumn theme on the trees, maybe something, I don't know. Just to make them look different, but I don't know if I'd ever, really do that. I've already reformatted book 2 for the new taller format that I can get printed pretty easily through Mixam. So I kind of have to, if you look at all of the books together, number 3 really sticks out like a sore thumb as far as the color scheme. So I'm thinking maybe number 7 could be someplace close to this, maybe on the, if I'm looking at palettes, maybe something in here like an autumny, yellow, gold, those kind of warmer tones. All of my others are a lot of bright blues. The town scene has a lot of purple in it. I love the number 5 and 6. Those are probably 3 is a favorite because that was a tribute to The Last Unicorn, kind of a scene study. But as far as those go, I really love 5 and 6 as far as color scheme. So I want to try and think of something interesting for 7. But yeah, so let me show you, because I've got everything but 2 here, because if I reach for, I could probably reach for 2 and not bug her. Oh. So let me just show you the spines. And this is actually in order. And this is an old printing of book 2. So book 2 is now very much like book 1 with the blue. This is the new printing. And so yeah, you can kind of see that yellow sticks out. So I'm thinking I might do something, not this exact color scheme, but something to bring that back in a little bit more. Corinne, hello, welcome to the stream. So yeah, it does stick out like a sore thumb, but it is what it is. But on the other hand, those colors are some of my favorite to work with. So it shouldn't be difficult to kind of tie this back into this series. So in thinking about that, next step number 2 was to come over and brainstorm some ideas. And so some scenes that I haven't done yet. Campfire scene. I did do a beach scene for the Sketch Cute cover of volume 5, which is just all my sketches. But that came out like a while ago, so I could probably do a beach scene, but it wouldn't. I would have to be tricky to get it to fall into the color scheme that I want. I know the beach has golds and warm tones and the sand and stuff, but I would maybe have to place it in sunset. So I've got campfire scene, a camping in general scene, book reading library, maybe a cooking scene. I originally was thinking a different point of view, and then I revised my thought to be like the angle would maybe down low to the ground, like a floof is looking up or something like that, and seeing all of the characters together. Maybe Granny Bear's baking something, and then the bridge over the spine to the back of the book could be like on an island or something, or a table, and I could maybe have floofs under the table or something. Hey Sharon, welcome to the stream. Happy Tuesday. Yes, it's book cover time. I've got to get this going, or at least start thinking about it. So cooking scene is a possibility. I always come back to the idea of a character soup illustration. I have done one of those in the past, and I did actually print it on a pop-up banner, pretty huge. That thing took forever to do, and the file was massive. So if you're not familiar with Drew Struzan's work, he did a lot. So like, think of any major movie poster from an iconic movie. He actually did, I think, some of the early Harry Potter ones before everything went to digital. A lot of the Star Wars, Indiana Jones. These are the movie posters that it was clearly illustrated, a painting, but it was very realistic. What else? I have an art book of his, but it's out there. What other? So in those, it would be kind of like a character soup, and when I say character soup, it's just like literally all the characters together in just this almost like a cloud or something sometimes. But you would have the main characters, and then around the outside perimeter would be various scenes. So like taking, for example, the movie poster for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. You had Indiana Jones, you had Sean Connery, you had then some of the minor characters, and then around the edges you had oh gosh, I want to say it was one of the scenes in the desert, like the tank scene was down there, and then maybe the camels. It's been a while since, let me look at that one again. Let's see, Drew Struzan. Come on, let me images. So yes, okay, on that one specifically, okay, so it was Indiana Jones, Sean Connery, and then the corners were Elsa, Sala and who's the other guy? I can't see this other corner. Is that yeah, it's Marcus Brody. He did Back to the Future, Hook, all sorts of those iconic movie posters, and they're all paintings, acrylic paintings. Oh yeah, he also did The Thing, Goonies. I'm not sure, did he do Raiders of the Lost Ark? That first one? He did Star Wars. No, Adventures in Babysitting. Damn. So yeah, a lot of those iconic movie posters, and they all kind of sort of have this, it's not an ethereal or an enchanted look, but it's kind of like a movie magic look. Yes, he did die. Was it 2 years ago? No, it was 2025. October 13th, 2025. So it's not necessarily character suit, but it's that look. Anyway, so that's what I'm thinking of on one possibility. And then another idea was at the idea wall, since the idea wall has been around. I think, did the idea wall start out in book 5? Yep, idea wall was in 5. I've got him in missing out. Oh, maybe it was in 4 as well. My brain says 4. I'm okay at 4 right now. No, Fancy Cats is in 4 too. Gotta be here somewhere. Starmew Valley. I need to do more of those. Where's the rest of my wall? It's gotta be in here somewhere. There it is, Dunkafloof. Here's the whole wall series, credit where it's due. Okay, so the wall is blank. Yeah, it did start on 4. Page 10 of volume 4 to be exact. And let's see, the wall got sentient with Spring Bear, the 3rd one. All right, so let's think about a couple of these. I'm thinking about the baking scene in the kitchen right now. So I'm thinking that I need to grab these spine estimates and take them and put them on another layer. Now I don't have to worry about picking those up when I'm sketching. Maybe this needs to be smaller because this is going to be a big scene with a lot of characters in it. I want to maybe have a window behind them. Cabinets. The you have to have enough room for the blurb here. Bear and Coco, Granny Bear. Granny Bear. And Granny Bear was not in 3. Kind of want to put a floof up here. But if I do that, I don't know if the blurb is going to have enough room. I might have to move everybody down. Need to make everybody smaller, I think. If I did that, I could bring happy down a little bit. That could work. That's a nice idea. And GB's kitchen is already yellow, so that would fit in the theme. All right, so there's that. How about campfire scene? Now that would definitely be... How would I want to do that? I definitely have to have a central campfire. It could be smaller. And I could have the characters kind of sitting around it. I could have some with their back like this. I could have Happy standing here in the back. Coconut could be telling. I could have a little yarn over here. And Pudge could be bringing s'mores. Save s'mores. Have a running floof. Blurb. Could have a floof here just roasting by the fire. I'm going to group these so I can keep them together. I like those so far. Some different ideas here. All right. right, character soup, cooking scene, book reading, library, camping in general, beach scene. I did a campfire scene, so I have a sketch for this. I have a sketch for cooking. Uh-oh. Oh, you gonna stretch? Can I get you to stretch? Oh, she's not giving it at all. I had to turn her heating pad back on. All right, let's see. Campfire, I like that idea. Let's see what else. Camping in general. So for that one, I'm kind of thinking of a scene I already drew where it has a river kind of going through here. Mo has her tent and she's beckoning to some floofs that are right over here. I could do another version of that scene. Drawing it again. The background is trees. I could always just redo. Something like this, and the tent is like here. And there's a little campfire here. This is just from memory. I'm gonna bring up the actual image and see how close I got. Because I know she's beckoning. I have a couple of floofs right here. I could have Pudge here and I could have Granny Bear. Could have Coconut fixing the tent. Could move this a little bit further away. Granny Bear maybe has the picnic basket of food. Happy's in the background fishing. Now let's see if I can remember where this image is from. I want to say 22, maybe. Go to the desktop. I remember that one. That was kind of a, I like this one a lot. This one was a study parody on The Swing. It's a famous painting. It was used in, it's used a little bit. Well, there are several different versions, but I think Frozen actually had a cameo, and they did a version of, it's the one where she's singing that first opening song and she jumps up in front of the painting. I think it's a French painting originally. All right, let's see. Where can I find this? Maybe it's earlier than 22. Well, there's the cover of 4, which originally was pink. And something wasn't right. And so I changed the background, the sky, to blue right before printing. All right. And that may not be it. Maybe it's 21. It's definitely not in 22. Let's go back one more. Should be a fall. Oh, look, right there. That's my very first drawing on the iPad. All right. Where did you put this one? Ah, there's my warm forest walk. That's one of my all-time favorites right there. Love that one. Whoops. Hold up. Come on, come back. There we go. Accidentally minimized everything. All right, let's go back here. There we go. And trying to drag this in. Yeah, I love these. Still a favorite. Okay, let's see if I can find back to here. Come on, come up front. I know you're here somewhere. I know I drew you, but I just don't know when I drew you. Say it was around I want to say it was around the summertime. So maybe I was looking in the wrong spot. Right, let's go back to 20. Let's just try 23. I want to say it's a summer sketch. For some reason, I'm thinking around the time of Comic-Con. One, but it's not the one I'm looking for. Oh, that was good. I love that one. I think I was right the first time. It's in 22 somewhere. I just gotta find it. Come on. Do it someplace. Okay, there's that one. Remember this one. I remember skipping stones. It's a good one too. Camping, where are you? There you are! Camping spot, 2548. So I'm close. Ah, I framed it out differently, didn't I? So I have the camper here, she's got this, we've got the fire here, and I have the edge coming here. And I had a frame, a tree back here, and there's the river. So I could for this version, I could say that they've come back to this spot and just do a update. And add more characters. I knew it was in 22. I just couldn't see it. Oh, I closed my thing. Let me go back to desktop. Go back to sketches. Oops, nope. This is a good year for sketches. I had a lot of good ones this year. Damn, I had a lot of good ones this year. That one was a lot of detail. Love the colors in that one. I figured out some stuff there. It's funny when I go back and look. I can see when I figured stuff out and remember, because those drawings stick. Where's Skipping Stones? I just saw it. It's a tall one. There it is. I might bring this back and put it on my wallpaper. I love the colors in this one. And I loved making the water. Boop, boop, boop. And if I'm remembering right, I didn't do much to make this water. I think I drew it in 2 pieces. Gosh, I'd have to go back and look. That was a goodie. All right, so let's see, other ideas. So I did camping in general, and I'm going to put down, what was it, 2548 approximately. Do I want to do a book reading or library scene? Do I want to try a character soup? I mean, an idea wall would be... that would be stupid easy. I would just have to extend the wall. And I just have all the characters in front of it. Or kind of just... it would just be a progression. They would be all there. And I need to have the signs. Pots. Maybe Pudge is writing in his journal. I think that would work. That's another excellent idea. Momo and Coca there with the floof, Pudge. We've got Happy, we've got Grainy Bear, and Boop. In the background, walking towards everyone. I've got room for a blurb, and I've got room for a title. Very realistically, possibly mapping out the next 4 volume covers. Will I make it to that many volumes? Will I make it to 10? I don't know, maybe. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see. What was the last? I was collecting the Garfield, you know, the long, thin Garfield books. I'm gonna say, what one did I? It's gotta be up. Is he still even publishing those? I got 17 or 23 or 25 or 20, somewhere up in the 20s, I think. But I don't know what happened to my collection of those. All right, let's see. Do they even still make those? Let me look. Well, let's go to Garfield Wiki Fandom. Okay, so let's see. 19th, 20th, 24th, 25, 30, 36, going, keep going. Looks like 54 was in 2012. Let's fast forward here. June 2nd, 26. Garfield Half Baked, his 79th book. Wow. Coming out on June 2nd. Garfield Crash Diet, his 78th book. That came out in December 25. So it looks like he does, thank you for that ad. December 23, August 24, June 25, December 25. So he did 2 that year. Okay, am I seeing a pattern? Nope, no pattern. I was going to say there's like 2, 2, and then 1, and then 2, 2, and then 1. But this is, looks like 2 a year, beginning and fall. Up until 2021. And then he only did 1 for 22. 23 he did 4. 24 he did 1. 25 he did 2. And we might get a June-December release. 79. Wow. That is awesome. Well, but he's doing syndicated comics like every day, so maybe you come up with ideas. Okay, so let's see. I wonder how he doesn't. Well, that's an excuse. I remember that's how did Mega Tokyo start out black and white? I feel like they did. Fred something who did that set. But still, they're over there. I think Mega Tokyo ended, or he's just stopped drawing it. What happened to Mega Tokyo? I didn't. Ugh. Lord, I didn't want that bit of news, but health issues. Oh my God. Is it still updating? It's 2 years ago. Oh, that's not a good review. Okay, never mind. I'll read that later. I'll read that later. All right, so this is good. This is 4 cover designs that all feel pretty solid. I've got all the characters there. Let's see, I did a check mark. We've got an idea wall. We've got a camping scene. Let's see if we can get one more. Let me see. Let me figure out something that is not on this list. I really like this idea wall one. And you know, I did something like this. I think it was around book 4 because I did the cover for book 4, the cover for book 5, which was supposed to be Sketch Cute 6, but I didn't do Sketch Cute 6, and I switched that to volume 5. And then 6, I don't think... 6 I just had the idea for. I didn't do any thumbnailing. I think I had a couple of ideas. Did I have a couple ideas left in that one? I did a thumbnailing set, but maybe I only came up with 3. I think I only came up with 3. Let's get one more here. I feel like a bakery scene could be good. Oh my God, what is that? I learned it. Okay, we are bakery. That reminds me, okay, here's another. So, was it one day? It was a couple of days in a couple of different classes, but in college there was this one, it was a specific class. It was a bio class, and I was falling asleep the entire class, but I was taking notes the entire time. And as I was writing down the notes, I knew what they were saying, what I was writing down. I understood it. But then when I came back later to look at my notes, I could not read anything. And it was just like pages of this. Almost this, maybe an A, something, you know, something recognizable here and there, but largely a mess. And I remember that one. I think I had to borrow my friend's notes on that one or compare or something. It happened again in one of my Japanese classes, but it was a history class. And I loved that class, but for whatever reason, I was falling asleep. And I just kept on doing that in class, and I was struggling and struggling. And the notes were doing that again. High-dimensional language. Okay, yeah, I'll use that. That'll be my excuse. I was speaking in tongues or something, but or noting in tongues. But yeah, no, that was. Wait a minute, bakery. How about donuts? donuts. In order to read, you need to be sleepy. Yes. I think that's the only time I could have read those notes again. But yeah, gosh, that bio class was tough. And it wasn't in that the material was tough, it was just like a mega dump of information. In 55 minutes, you could not stop writing because the professor was just writing, and next slide, writing, next slide. And it just wasn't slides, it was an overhead projector, and he was just, writing. And he was writing like, 50 miles an hour. And so you could not pause, you had to write and write, because usually what he chose for the exams and the quizzes were directly from those notes. But yeah, there were some times where it just wasn't happening. That was the same one where, was it Dr. Asai? Was that his name? There was one class where he came in and he was dressed up as a sperm. And he even had a cross section of the tail. And that was the only time he broke character from his Hawaiian shirt and shorts. And everybody was quite happy to see that. Yeah, I think it was a general bio class. I didn't seem to have trouble in biochem staying awake, but that one was more in the afternoon. All right, let's see. We're doing donuts, we're doing bakery. Let's try one more idea and then I'll start drawing one of these. I'm kind of feeling the idea wall. Maybe I'll think of some color schemes. This is definitely going to be butter yellow, warm, cozy. This is going to be maybe, I would love, and this is a color scheme that I've never been able, I'm going to put, I've seen a lot of Halloween illustrations that are kind of that dark purpley teal with like mist going through. It's a certain palette, and I've tried to tackle it several times, but I don't feel like I've quite gotten it ever. Save this. I used to draw when I was bored in class. Me too. I would have a border around my notes. And that's actually why I kept a lot of my notebooks, was for the drawings and not really the notes. Unless it was my well, did I really do notes in creative writing class? I don't think I did. All right, so we got to get some drawing done here. Bakery, cozy warm colors. I definitely want a floof or two. Need to long bakery counter. Now, let's think about this in a different way. Think about a horizon. I've drawn this bakery before. Well, I've drawn a bakery several times. One that I really love had a window that was like this. And the counter was like that, kind of. And there was stuff here. This is one where I did my 50 items challenge. But I don't think I want to do that. I want to have maybe... I did another where there was a nice back wall full of all of the stuff. That was what I was thinking of before. Maybe our shelves of bread. Building the scene right now, and I'm going to have characters here in a minute. Maybe that's my kitchen. There's other stuff here. There's the confections counter. I've got this nice, beautiful window. What else could be here? Wall. Character getting stuff from here. Do I need to make this smaller for more space? I kind of think I do. Maybe Happy can be helping out behind. And then Coco will be EL can be here. She's got her coffee. Chair. So who am I missing? Well, really nobody. I've got Granny Bear, I've got Boop, I've got Happy, Momo, Pudge, Floofs are everywhere. One can be helping. Blurb. I think that one's pretty strong too. I think that one's pretty strong too. All right, so now we're on to book 11, if I need it. Maybe I should change this to Book of Cute Covers 7 through 11. File. Save as. Book of Cute Covers. Cover. Mail. Ideas. There we go. All right. So that's cool. That's a good one. These are all good ones. I'm happy with all of these. I feel like I should... No, I have my references over there. I have Idea Wall Summer. I've got the Cozy Warm Colors. I've got enough detail that I can... All right. Well, thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you like them. All right, which do I start with? Gosh, I haven't had this many illustration ideas in a while. Kind of feels good. But I know that, man, I juiced up this morning with a bang, and that has like 300 milligrams of caffeine in it. I've been kind of trying to get away from that, but I needed it yesterday because I was working on a map and I needed like the creative juices flowing, which was good because I was able to turn things around three-dimensionally and draw them from different angles pretty easily, which is what that's like the most important thing when I'm drawing my concept art maps, because I'll do an overview and then I'll have to do like scenes that will kind of get the client into, not the headspace, but give them a taste of what it's going to look like when they're actually standing in front of it. So it's kind of, you've got to create that a little bit with mood and the lighting and the shading, but then you've also got to do this, take what you're illustrating on a kind of a bird's eye view, not isometric, but it's pretty close overview map. And okay, so they've got to be able to recognize, oh, this view, which is me standing right here, is actually what it would look like on the map if I was right here. So it's got to be similar enough to make that connection. So I did so well yesterday with that. And I didn't group this, did I? with that and having the extra caffeine, that I was like, ooh, let's do that again today. Because I've got to do another map later today. Well, actually after this, right after this, I'll be on another map. But this one is a little bit less, actually no, it's not less involved, it's pretty involved still. But all right, well, when are we going to start drawing, guys? I'm kind of feeling more campfire, the wall, the baker. I should probably just take them in order. Heck, I'm going to draw them all anyway. All right, let's start with the kitchen. And I do have to remember that these, let me go ahead and open an old cover file and get the proportions in there, because my old covers were, well, actually you can see it, let's see. You can kind of see the difference in 3 versus 4. So if I hold it up like this, actually let's do this in front. So let's put it in front of me so you can actually see it. Okay. The new version is taller but thinner. So this one, it wasn't a square, but it was closer to a square than this, which is more vertical. So I've got to remember to bring those elements in a little closer. And let me see if I can find a book cover. I think I have a book cover file on my desktop still, and I can just, where is it? Yes, cover tall. Oh, that's the cover tall. So I have extra stuff on that one. Why did I make the tall version? Why did you make a tall version? Because that is not. Why did I make the tall version? I did it for some reason. I don't remember why I made this tall version, but I will use it to help me lay out. Oh, really? Did that? No. Did that seriously work in my regular? Because this is about correct on, and I just extended but on the regular book cover, the book spine is right. So is my normal? Wait, this is, the height is off. 1503, so that's 1500. I usually do by 900, but that's okay. I guess I don't need to adjust. Let's just blow this up. I'm going to need to make it wider, a lot wider. So how are we going to do this? I'm going to have to make the table wider. That'll give me room for more characters. If I keep them this big, let's make it a little bigger. I do want to have, let's just do a center line. I thought I was a lot closer to how the covers are laid out than I was. All right, let's see. So this definitely needs to be center. Whoops. Well, I'm not that far off. So if I'm doing this like here is where I was thinking of before, but I want to have it like this. I don't want to have, this floof is cute. I don't want to have him cut off. But then I don't want happy on the spine. All right, so this is what I was thinking before. So what do I do here? Let's come in here, and I've got my blurb. I've got my blurb area. I'm gonna move this over. Blurb, 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 blurb. I don't feel like, oh, I think I need to make an actual spine. I could make this island bigger. There we go. And then to keep my cute little floof interaction here, I can just make them smaller. I need to make coconut smaller anyway. Oop. And then I can put stuff on the table like baked goods or whatever. And then back here, I could continue. Counter space. All right, and if I'm doing that, let's guesstimate the spine. Visually. Center. Okay. All right, let's save. I'm going to go ahead and label this as 3681. Be okay, cover, kitchen. I'm not going to attach it to a volume yet. All right, oops. All right, so it's probably a good thing when I start getting deja vu like I've drawn this before. I like all of these ideas. Man, these are all good. I really like this idea wall one. I like the bakery. Gosh, these are fun. I guess in keeping with so many, I don't want to say this is the one I like the least, but I feel like I'm excited about all of these others more. But this is so cute too. I guess that's a good goal. going to make it to use all of these covers. But, you know, by the time I get over here, that's X volumes in the future. I feel like my style has settled, though. I've settled on how I draw stuff. So maybe it won't change as much. Because that's something I noticed, like when I did volume 4, and, you know, I was worried that, oh gosh, you know, for volume 5, you know, that's old art. But didn't really matter, because that's current art quality in the way I draw the characters. So I don't really think it's changed that much. I mean, Happy looks the same. Momo, there she is, looking the same. Coco, definitely. Floofs, definitely. All right. It's going to be hard to choose. It is. It's going to be very hard to choose. But I will get them all done. I feel like this has been a very boring stream because it's all been scribblies. It's all been scribblies. Oh no, I just had another idea. Oh no, maybe I should make this a comic. But that would be more if I have enough to make a Meowzilla only volume, kind of like Pudge. I could do Meowzilla versus the gigantic Mega Floof. You know, like they're facing off. Or maybe they're doing the... How would I do that? I need to make my thing smaller here. If I do this, Meowzilla versus Mega Floof, I think if I wrote that out, I would frame it as they're preparing for battle, but they're actually preparing to share snacks or something. Like, Meowzilla is like preparing her battle gear, and she's putting and preparing all this stuff, and she's sizing up her opponent, and then she's like, okay, well, I'll opt for extra cupcakes or cookies, and then they have them having a picnic. And then how do I switch to reality? Comic idea. Scribbles are fun. It's all part of the creative process. It is. It is. I feel like it's a good thing to start with making, I think in this case, well, it'll be this case, definitely the bakery scene. I feel like setting up the environment is going to be the most important piece. So if I get the island table, floating table, whatever, set here first, then the background elements like the countertops and the cabinets and stuff in the background, I feel like that would be smart, because then it's easy to draw the characters interacting with their environment that's already set. Something like this, I can start with the characters and kind of build as I go. Definitely here, because I have to have the countertop, the bakery, shelving, the confectionery case, all of that ready to go before I can really place characters. All right. Oh, I saw, finally, can't believe I didn't talk about this yet. I saw Project Hail Mary this weekend, and I loved it. And I'm now reading the book. And I was, let's see. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's not seen it yet, but I had some worries that they were going to do some... Okay, so Quiet Place, chapter 1, or whatever, day 1. It took me forever to actually sit down and see that movie until I had actually kind of meandered my way through and figured out that the cat lives. I refused to watch it if they killed the cat, because that would just upset me. But the cat lives. And so I was like, okay, I can watch it now. And I was worried that they would do some of similar character shenanigans with Project Hail Mary, but I didn't see anything. I didn't see people reacting and saying, oh, you know, this part just wrecked me, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there were some, you know, ups and downs, but they didn't do that. So if you are holding back from watching the movie because you don't want to fall in love with a character and have that character taken away, they don't do that. So just to give you a little marked safe from stress. Well, not completely, but there is stress. There is emotional heartstring pulling, but you get a happy ending. And I was very happy about that. It was good. So I would say, I wouldn't say that you need a lot of patience, but it definitely, similar to The Martian, and The Martian is, well, it's very, I wouldn't say it's very similar, but it has a similar vibe in, like, there's not a lot of fast-paced action. You're just kind of with this character and going through it with them, kind of like you were with The Martian and Matt Damon getting, stranded on Mars. You're invested in the character, and the character is very likable. And so that's kind of the same deal here. So if you liked and enjoyed The Martian, I think you definitely very much enjoy this one as well. Another thing that made me excited to see it was I saw a little behind the scenes featurette on how they did Rocky's scenes, and they utilized practical effects as much as they could. Now there's certain things that he did that of course they weren't able to do with a puppet, and that's when they leaned on CG, but where they could, they leaned on practical effects and actually had Gosling, acting with, instead of just like on a green screen or whatever, he was actually acting with a puppet. And that made me happy, because practical effects are kind of going extinct. And I think that's why some of these movies hold up so well. What was I watching the other day that just, it held up so well? And it's largely because most of it was practical effects. What was that? What was I watching? It was a disaster movie of some kind. Oh, darn it. What was that? I love me my disaster movies. And my monster movies. Okay, let's make this a little smoother. You're not updating for me. All right, well, let's try that again. Let's give you another chance. There we go. Much better. What movie was that? And I remarked on it. I was like, gosh, this holds up well, but it's all practical effects. Shoot. I'll think of it. This wasn't the one I was thinking of, but I did watch T2 again. And that was interesting because apparently I grew up watching the director's cut version because my dad got it on Laserdisc, and apparently he got the Laserdisc version that was the director's cut, which has about 20 minutes more. And so I'm sitting here watching this, and it's the theatrical cut, and I'm like, scenes are missing. And it's kind of like, it's not a deja vu thing, but I'm like, something was supposed to happen here and we didn't get to see it. And I totally didn't realize there was, that big of a difference in the cuts. Like on one of the big scenes that is in the director's cut versus the theatrical is when they open up Arnie, the T800, and they turn off his read-only mode so he can start learning. And so when they get in the car and he's starting to dismantle the thing to hotwire it, John Connor flips down the visor, the keys fall, and he's like, are we learning yet? That's because in the previous scene, it's only on the director's cut apparently, they had that whole switching him on rather to learning mode, and so he can be more human, which I think is really kind of detrimental. Why did they leave that out? I don't think I want to have this solid. I think I want to make some of them not. Oh, there's another scene too where the T-1000 has killed the foster parents, and Arnie jumps on the phone. He determines the foster parents were dead because he asked the name of the dog. He gives the wrong name of the dog to the T-1000. The T-1000 answers, yeah, this, Wolfie is okay, but the dog's name is actually Max. They have a scene in the director's cut where he goes out and he checks the dog's name and he realizes they know. And they fed him the wrong name. It's a small scene, just a couple of seconds, but do I want to put the edge of a drawer? I kind of do, maybe a cabinet. Well, if it's a cabinet, it's going to be longer. Okay, I'm just going to draw all of them together, and I will erase as I need it later. Because I know I will, because these guys are going to be sitting here. I probably should make all of these little slats equidistant here. All right, let's do it that way. Let me do it with the top pieces. All right. Oh, my goodness, I was really off, wasn't I? I don't feel like I am. This does not look correct, but I know it's because this is wider, but I'm still going to move you over. That was pretty okay. Oh, that was one thing I remember noticing. The sounds in T2, like the sound effects, especially of the T1000 in metal, it's very wet and it's just weird. But I always kind of, I don't know. I guess that was a choice that they made, because it kind of subtly reminds you that this, you know, thing is not metal. It's actually liquid metal. I wonder if they actually made that, you know. All right, so there's that. There's my front counter. And yes, it is off center a little bit, but I'm kind of okay with that for now. All right, now let's think about the back. So I'm gonna draw, I'm just gonna group this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to rough out the background pieces, because this is all the cabinetry, the window. I'm going to have that all kind of like I did on this cover, but maybe even more so. So the objects back here are a different line art color objects, characters. I've got Happy Floofs, Boop, and Pudge. They're coming up over the hill. So I wanted to create a sense of distance. So I have the most high contrast, darkest line art color on my characters that are closest to the viewer. Further away, I gave them kind of a little bit more desaturated line art color to create that little bit of a distance. So I'm going to do the same thing here, because I want to create, I may put maybe a puffy cloud of flour or something in between these characters, this front counter and then the back area, just to make that a little bit more dreamy. But all of this back here I'm going to map out and then detail and bring in with that, like just a little bit of an offset of a line art color. Yes, magic flower. Yes. Oh, that'll be fun, actually. All right, so what I'm going to do first is, and then I'll probably end the stream here. I'm just going to kind of map this out. I want to draw. Another thing is that if this is, I've got the, I should probably. I should probably actually. All right, let's use the actual line tool to see if I'm doing this right. Just to determine where my vanishing point is according to this. So my vanishing point is about right there. And, oops. Delete that, and let's try my line tool one more time. All right. Oh, that's why. All right. So, do I want to have the countertops be at the vanishing point or a little bit below? Oh, I'm going in too much detail here. This is going to bite me in the butt, I'm sure. I usually eyeball this stuff. All right, and this back counter that's in the behind them cannot have thicker counters than this one. The rough guide. All right, line tool. Seriously? This is going to be against the wall. And I'm going to have a little bit of countertop because what am I doing? This is not the vanishing point. I'm not dealing with two vanishing points. I'm dealing with one vanishing point. And I need oh dear. Is that really what it's going to look like? That's just my countertops. I guess if the vanishing point is there. All right. Do some cabinetry. One point. This is going to be interesting. Really? Why aren't you picking up when I'm why aren't you picking up what I'm putting down? You're just not doing it. I keep on selecting the same things, but you're not picking up the stroke on the previous. Okay. Well, that one did. Why? I'm just mapping it out here, seeing if this is how I want it to look. All right, and that's the back end of the room. And this is, all right, this is the depth of my counter as it's going to this point. Okay. I think I'm going to take all, good, I already grouped that. So I'm going to grab everything, deselect this, deselect that, and group all of these lines so I can work on them independently and set this up. So if that's the case, I want a counter here, and it's barely going to be visible behind happy, which is okay. And then cabinets as well. So I'm going to draw a line here. And then I'm going to draw a line here as well for the top of my cabinets. This is about where I want them to be. Just trying to get all of my, so that's how deep I had them. It's about as deep as this. Okay. So we're gonna do this. Have everything even. I'm getting messed up here visually. Yeah. Maybe I should just go back and eyeball this and just do it roughly as I have always done. And it seems to work okay. And that is that. So this technically should run about right there. That's not right. Is that right? Okay, it's because this is offset. I'm going nuts here. I should just draw not try to map it out and be all precise like this, because I never do that. And what's bothering me is this right here versus this, and I feel like I've not done it right. But I think it's just the distance. Oh. Let's save this. Hello, my lady. Are you ready to get some lunch with me? Do you want some good chicken? He says, yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I love sharing your sandwich with you. So whenever I make I do like a half sandwich for lunch usually, and she can be dead asleep. As soon as I walk in here with it, she smells the chicken and she pops up just meowing. And so I've started to just put a little extra pile on my plate that I can give her, so I don't have to fish it out of my sandwich. But I will continue on this, and I think I'm going to try and not be so precious with it in the vanishing point. I think that's going to mess me up more than not, but right now it's looking okay, sort of. Not really. There's something wrong here and here, and I think I should just eyeball it. But this will get me a good start. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. I'll hop back over here and show the thumbnails I did for several potential cover illustrations, different volumes. We've got this one that I'm currently working on, which is the kitchen scene. And then I have a campfire scene where Coconut is spinning a yarn, telling a tale. And then I have another sort of camping scene, which is reminiscent of an illustration I did a while ago. I'm gonna try and bring these characters back to this location as much as I can. And then so they're again welcoming everybody to their campground, but I have more than just Momo and Coco and some floofs here. I've got the other characters too. And then I have a idea wall cover, which I think is really cute. Momo and Coco are here at the idea wall. Idea wall is smiling, and in the background I've got Granny Bear, Floof, Boop, and Happy, and then I've got Pudge riding on the idea wall with the Floofs watching. And then the final cover idea, well, sort of. This mess is more of a comic idea of Meowzilla versus Mega Floof. But the last cover thumbnail I have is a bakery scene, and here I have it opening with the Floof in a donut, and Coconut's probably going to have some sort of pastry here. I've got Granny Bear, Boop, and Momo kind of in the mid-ground with their baked goods. Happy's helping out behind the counter, and then I have Bakery Bear. She's got the yellow ears. She's reaching up on the shelf. Floof is helping, and then here I've got EL and Pudge enjoying coffee, which I think is cute. And EL has actually never made it onto a cover before, so if I'm really feeling this one, I might bump it forward, but I like all of these ideas. Always lurking today. Great to see you, Ariana. Good to see you. I hope you're having a good day. But yeah, so that's where we went. And then I had an idea randomly of Meowzilla versus Mega Floof. And I think I could write something fun for that. Like Meowzilla's preparing for a picnic as opposed to a battle, but well, Coconut's preparing for the picnic, but in her mind, it's this great battle of who's bringing the best stuff to the picnic, maybe. All right, so let me go ahead and switch my ending screen on. There we go. Yay! Alrighty, guys. Thank you again so much for joining me. I will be back on Thursday with comics, and I'll be posting, probably doing some reels, short video on the progress of making these cover designs. And but yeah, that is it was more of a brainstorming kind of planning stream today, and I'll be working on this and getting into the layout as well if you guys don't want the layout streams, let me know. I'll probably just do one, and if you guys like it, I'll continue. If not, then I'll do something else. But I do need to get this new volume laid out and ready for print soonish. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, Ariana, Sharon, let's see, Karan, Embry, all my lurkers. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you next time.